A lot of people were just like, nope. Myself included. I was like, nope. Hell no, no.
3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tato. This channel is about all things conversation, and today we are just going to continue with season 3, episode 3 of Couples Retreat. So let us just get into it. Before we get into it, I need for you to just click on that subscribe button. It costs you nothing. And if you like my content, like, comment, share, But anyway, let's go. So last week, remember the ending of the episode was Jock and Kendra having a tiff, and Shamari heard the noise, came through and knocked just to be a big sister, to find out what is going on. And Kendra mentioned that they just have issues and she's just tired. So that's when Shamari asked Kendra about the kids. How many kids does Jock really have? Because obviously the issue at hand mostly is about the break baby that Jock had. So Kendra mentioned that all in all, Jock has 9 children. And Shamari asked, do you want children? And Kendra said that there was a time where she conceived and she decided not to go ahead with the pregnancy or the pregnancy because, number one, she was a new lawyer, I guess for career reasons. Second reason, she mentioned that she does not want to have a child with someone that has contributed to, the broken family home structure, which is obviously Jock, because he's got his baby mamas and stuff like that. So, and Shamari just said to Kendra that, there's healing that needs to take place. And Kendra was like, no, actually, I was fine. I was raised okay. It is up until I met Jock that I just started to spiral out of control. So, shame, man. I just feel for my girl. She's going through a lot, and I think she does not know how to handle it, and she's still carrying so much resentment, So, Helen and Jalen went to go and see AJ and to just speak about their issues at hand. AJ wasted no time and asked Jalen, does he feel safe in this relationship? So that's when Jalen asked AJ to just broaden it. And AJ mentioned that she's speaking about being solid, being honored, being committed, being respected. And Jalen mentioned that, no, actually, I don't feel that because I have a lot on my plate and I don't have a say in a lot of things. Number one, I'm taking care of 7 people in this household that we live in. And 7 people, that is Fallon's sisters, that is Fallon's 3 children from 3 boys from a previous relationship, and not with Simon. She doesn't have kids with Simon. And then their daughter that is young, their toddler, So that is what, and obviously Fallon and obviously Jalen. So he's taking care of a lot of people in this household, but he does not have a say. So it feels as if Fallon trusts Jalen to take care of the home in terms of finances, but nothing else. So that is what Jalen was speaking about, that's how he feels. And that's when AJ actually advised them that they should just take some time apart. What would it be a bad idea for them to take a break? Because it seems like there's trauma involved. It seems like Fallon has not actually healed from the divorce. And actually AJ asked Fallon, do you like men? And Fallon was like, so AJ was like, I don't mean are you attracted to men, I mean, do you like men? Because Fallon also said that Jalen is asking for something that I don't have the capability of doing, which is respect men, because men have never respected me. I've got trauma where I've been violated sexually by a man, and then afterwards I went into an abusive relationship after abusive relationship, So I don't know how to respect men. But the question now AJ posed was about liking men, and she actually said, no, I don't like men. So you can see someone having to have those traumas and still wanting to be in a relationship where she's requiring a sense of love, a sense of warmth. And Jalen also needs that, and that assurance from Fallon. So it's just a recipe for disaster. So that is why AJ was just asking them, would it be a bad idea for you guys to take a break, for you guys to heal individually, and then just come back and revisit the situation? I think also the divorce was very traumatic for Fallon because of the way in which it happened. Because Fallon mentioned that, I think she did mention that she still carries resentment because of how things happened. This moment, they are happy. I mean, she's the love of Simon's life. And then, Stugudu, Chigi Chigi, she's getting a call that she's got 13 days to move out of the house that they built together. So that was also one of those things. So I guess the traumas are just built up after built up, you know. And obviously, Simon treating her like that, it actually confirmed her dislike and a disrespect for men, because men can just throw you away just like that any day. So moves to the exercise of the day, and Tony Gaskin gathered them and explained the exercise of the day and the purpose of it, which is for them to do the uncomfortable things and step out of their comfort zones, because that's what happens in relationships. You know, even having to compromise also means you have to be uncomfortable with certain things. And then he introduced the hypnotherapist. So the exercise was hypnotherapy. Obviously, hypnotherapy needs for you to let go of control, you know. So a lot of people were just like, no. Myself included, I was like, no, hell no. Because I mean, what? I'm not going to control anything. I'm just going to go out and I won't know nothing. That is just, no. So I was with a lot of people that were like, no, I'm good. I'm good, Tony. Thanks. But he mentioned that this is not a it's not hypnosis, it is hypnotherapy. There's a difference apparently. So he brought through the hypnotherapist. And Apollo said, no, I don't want to be in a situation where someone comes in and pulls out the darkness or the traumas, the childhood traumas that I didn't even know that I had. And now I have to work on those traumas now. I've been fine, my life has been fine. And then now, there's this situation that I'm not ready for, you know. And I think that's what happens with a lot of, you know, those trips where people take like our ayahuasca and stuff, where they go onto those trips. Yes, it's a safe environment. They take you to that dark place. They take you to that place, you know. And then after that, and then when you leave, then what? Who's going to help you through unpacking those things? Let's say, for example, you don't have money for therapy, or you don't have money to continue or whatever, because now their job is to take out that demon, or their job is to take out that trauma. And then after that, there is no checkup. And when you are stuck with someone now who's going through these things and you don't know how to deal with them, I think that's where I was like, Apollo, I feel you, I hear you. Even though maybe it's for different reasons, but I think I have insecurities in that area. I probably need to grow, but I'm one of those people where I'm like, when the student is ready, the teacher shall appear. And if I'm not ready, I'm not going to go into something where it's like, available, there's hypnotherapy right now. No, what if I'm not ready? It will happen in its own time, please. The hypnotherapist was like, no, I want to rewire your brain. That's when Apollo was like, I'm not in a dark space, you know, where I need someone to erase memories and rewire my brain. No, thank you. Fallon was not available for the exercise because of the therapy session she had earlier on with AJ, which took a toll on her. So she needed to rest and she needed to just gather her thoughts, especially after the whole proposal of a break and all of those things. So Jalen was alone in that experiment, in that exercise. And guys, a lot of them just didn't take this exercise seriously. Like a lot of them, some just fell asleep. And they just found themselves in a nice sleep session, and others were like awake on some, you're not going to catch me sleeping. You're not going to trap me. And there was a point where Apollo was just opening Shireen's eyes and like, I know you ain't. You are not going to do this. And just nudging her and pushing and shoving her, you know. So obviously after the exercise, they woke up, and Tony just mentioned that, you know, I think there is an issue of trust in this group, because a lot of y'all did not want to participate, because a lot of y'all did not want to give away control. And which is true, because if you go under such states, it means you relinquish all control, and that is uncomfortable for people. They asked who actually wanted to partake in this, and, you know, Shireen mentioned that I wanted to be a part of this. I wanted to get into this experiment, but Apollo kept nudging me, kept waking me up. And Apollo was like, no, the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm the head of the family and I have to protect my family. The reason why I'm doing this is because I am well versed and experienced in such situations, and I don't want you to go and get lost in these things. So I was protecting you. That is what Apollo said. And I mean, Tony was like, Apollo, this is a grown woman. She can make her own decisions. So why don't you allow her to actually be a part of this? What if she comes out better? What if it is beneficial for you guys? And Apollo was like, I'm fine with my Shireen like this. Okay? I'm not going to be entrapped in all of this. And Breezy was like, hold up. You need to understand that you guys are doing this for healing. So maybe you have a problem with this, because maybe Shireen might come out a different person, and that different person might not want your ass. I was like, that hurts. And Apollo was like, if she didn't like me, she wasn't going to marry me last week. And I was like, Apollo. Then after all of that, when they stood up and just went into their different rooms, that's where Breezy called Jalen to just find out how are you, just like a check-in of some sort. That's when Jalen explained the whole therapy session earlier on, to say that there was a proposal that we need to take a break. And Breezy had mentioned that, there's fear and there's trauma from both of your guys' side. And there are things that have to be done. There are things that you guys want to do for different reasons. And those reasons are not healthy for a relationship. For example, Breezy mentioned that that question that she asked Fallon last time, and Fallon about why does she want to be with Jalen, and it was more of provision, security instead of love, and longevity and all of those things. And Jalen also has issues in how he wants to connect with Fallon. So Breezy mentioned to Jalen that, Jalen, your opinions matter, number one. Number two, trust and believe that you know what you are doing. You know yourself better than anyone else. So look out for yourself. Be there for yourself. Love yourself first before you can actually have the ability to love someone else. So I think she was just affirming Jalen to say, do what works best for you, so that you can grow. And if you guys meet each other years down the line, good. But be okay with the fact that you have to look out for yourself, and that might cost relationships. So, yeah. During, while they were going back into their rooms, Fatboy and Tiana have a spat. And the spat was public. It was done in the elevator where everyone else was around, So he goes and, okay, they have the situation, right? Then now he goes to Apollo to actually get like advice and to actually vent to Apollo on what happened, because Apollo was there as well. People were there to witness the spat. Then that's when Fatboy explained that, what happened earlier? I saw a DM from a woman. I gave my phone to Tiana to check it out. Maybe he was doing it for the sense of, I've messed up before and I don't want nothing. I'm just gonna, Tiana, please read what's happening here. So that's when Tiana then took the phone, checked the DM, and while she was checking the DM, Fatboy wanted the phone back and wanted to take the phone back. Tiana then was like, how? Njaini, Then they had the back and forth. Now he's explaining all of this to Apollo, right? And then he's saying that he doesn't know where it all came from, because she just started being high in his spirits when it comes to the situation. It happened earlier on, but now it became this thing where I think Fatboy called Tiana stupid. And that's when Tiana just got, she got riled up, and then she just, went in where there was everyone in public and everything. So I think it is because it happened, where Fatboy was just calling Tiana stupid, and Tiana felt like, you are not going to do that, not in front of people. I'm just going to stand up for myself. So that's where that's where Apollo actually asked Fatboy, so how did you guys meet? Wena no Tiana. And Fatboy replied to say that they met via Instagram, via the DM. It went down in the DM. And then that's when Apollo's like, okay, so maybe there is something there. that is making her feel that way because of the way you guys met. Then Fatboy mentioned that even the girl that, or girls that he cheated on Tiana with, they met via Instagram DM. So that is a pattern. And obviously, Tiana wanted reassurance, because why are you fighting me for looking at the phone that you said I must look at? Why are you calling me stupid? So I think Tiana wanted that, assurance that you are on my side. You are probably going to call this girl, or you're going to send this girl funny text or something like that, so that I may feel like you are hearing me out. So I think that's what Tiana wanted. So that's when Apollo was like, but this is a pattern. And when it's a pattern, there is something that triggers someone. You met via Instagram. That is how Tiana thinks that is your MO. You go into Instagram and you look for girls, and things happen and pop because of how they met and because of how he cheated. Same pattern. So Apollo was like, sometimes, actually all the time, we need to hold ourselves to a different standard and value ourselves as men, and just stop and cut out certain things that will actually be harmful to our partners, i.e. what you are doing. So you need to hold yourself on a high standard, and you also need to apologize, because now you understand where it all comes from. It's deeper than just Instagram DM, because now it's a matter of how we met. It's a matter of how you cheated on me, and now there's this DM. So that was good advice actually from Apollo. Jock then went to AJ, visited AJ. AJ, I've got a problem. We were just chilling. Kendra just started crying. Literally, we were just chilling and she started crying, and I asked her if she's fine, and she said no, she's not fine, but she's not saying what caused it, what's going on. So please help me out. And AJ just said, you know what, you know your wife. Something happened. You know what happened. But Jock did not say anything. He insisted he doesn't know what happened. Then AJ asked Jock, why did you marry Kendra? And Jock mentioned that he actually likes Kendra's values regarding family and the family structure, because of how Kendra grew up. She grew up, in a good household, and they actually click when it comes to family values. So Jock also mentioned the situation where Kendra's dad, he passed on, and he mentioned how it was there was a time where it was hard for them, because he was just there holding Kendra and Kendra's mom and all of that, and it was a very, very tough situation where the dad passed on. And then there was a time where they actually had a one of those outbursts and one of those moments in arguments, and Kendra said to Jock, I hate you. And the reason why she hates Jock is that if she wasn't busy chasing Jock, she was going to spend more time with her dad, and now the dad is late. And that is one of the things that I just like, I think they still linger inside Jock's head, and it's one of those things that he's finding difficulty to actually accept or to actually get over, in terms of her saying that she hates him and the reasons behind the hate, because the dad is gone now, so maybe Kendra still resents Jock for that you know what, I was just busy running after you and chasing after you, and I was supposed to be taking care of my dad and spending more time with my dad, and did Jock not spill the tea? Yeah, that Fatboy and Tiana to AJ, and I'm like, Jock. So obviously he just broke everything down regarding regarding Fatboy and Tiana, and what happened and how it happened. He was just like, enough about me, let me tell you, girl. Apollo and Shireen also had their little moment in their room where it was just nice and soft and sexy. Apollo rubbing on Shireen's feet and just breaking, pillow talk amongst couples, where it's just like, hey, let us reflect on the day. So Apollo actually spoke to Shireen about the day and having to advise Fatboy and telling him everything, just unpacking everything. But Shireen was like, but see, that's the thing. You feel satisfaction, and you feel like you're supposed to be there for other people because you've walked the walk before. Because I think Apollo also had situations with Shireen, or maybe with Phaedra, regarding social media and relationships and cheating and all that, because he said that he actually relates to Fatboy, and he's the right person to speak to Fatboy because of the experience he's got. So Shireen was like, see, it's good that you have experience and you gave your advice. However, this is the very same thing that you are fighting people to do for me and for our relationship earlier on during the hypnotherapy. And Apollo was like, oh, okay. And he just, he tried to deflect. And then next thing was like, I'm just looking out for you. And, I can't live without you. I love you. I think he was at that moment love bombing her so that he can actually get away from this situation and having to account and realize that, oh, okay, I don't want people to do what I am doing to other people. So I think I hope Sherin is taking note of that he tries to worm his way out of things by love bombing, because he just ended up just saying that, oh, I don't know what I would do without you. I'm just looking out for you because you are just my baby and all of that. And it's like, at that moment, I think I wish Sherin would have said, no, I hear that you love me and you find me beautiful and all of that. But let us continue with this conversation. So they went outside for some questionnaires that AJ posed for them on a card. And one of the questions was the trauma. What traumas do you think you've brought into the relationship? And Fallon said that the marriage trauma, she brought that into the relationship. Apollo mentioned his trauma from regarding prison, that when someone tells him what to do, it reminds him of a time when he was in prison and couldn't do anything. So that was his trauma. And Jock mentioned that he grew up with a mom that was like a tough love mom and a strict mom. And now that he's grown, obviously he wants to have a say. He wants to do things his way and have the ability to just have control, because growing up he didn't have that. Like nothing was, I think, right in the sight of the mother, because the mother was just like always, So now that Jock is older, he feels like he needs to have control, and he feels like he needs to have a say in everything to show that control of his life and how he wants to do things. Thereafter, Jalen called the hypnotherapist for a one-on-one because he felt like he didn't get anything out of it because of the way Apollo was just disruptive and others were just asleep and all of those things. And the hypnotherapist obviously just got him in a comfortable position and just started her work, And she took Jalen back to when he was 5 years old. Then she asked, what do you see, the environment, the space that you are in? And Jalen mentioned that he is 5 years old and he's in a room and he is witnessing his mom being abused. And that left him with no power, because at that moment he could not fight against the abuser and he could not fight and protect his mom. Shame. And he was just crying, and it was just a touching moment for me. While Jalen was under, the hypnotherapist spoke to Jalen and affirmed him and let him know that there was the 5-year-old boy that didn't have a say, that couldn't protect his mom. But now you have a voice, you have a say, and just gave him affirmations for him to say to himself and assure himself. So I think that's where it actually is, the trauma, where he couldn't protect the mom at that time, and now he doesn't have a say and feels like he can't protect himself, he can't protect even Fallon or even speak out loud and feel heard. So that was very important. And in the ending of the show, Tiana and Fatboy had to sit down because of what happened earlier on, just to close off the night. And Tiana was trying to say to Fatboy, to let Fatboy know that, you know what, you hurt me because you did this in front of these people, number one. Number two, you called me stupid in front of them. And Fatboy was like, no, like you always want to just fight me, and I'm telling you that these girls are $2 girls. And I think that's what some cheaters do. Like when they like, bro, you went to these $2 girls when you cheated on me, so now you are calling them $2 girls. You know those guys that are like, no man, stop looking at your social media, man, I'm trying to protect you from these girls that are trying to do this and that, only knowing very well that those are the actual girls that you are going to. You know, man, it's like when men are like, man, ish, phuma kulawo mantombazana, man, amarathana lawa in, and they degrade and demean these girls only for them to go to them. You know, so I don't get it. And Tina was like, you know what, you don't get it, it's fine, because Fatboy thinks, you know, we are high profile people, so people will always want to tear us down. Please get it, Tiana. And Tiana's like, it's not about that, it's about you protecting me. It's about you not calling me names and not making me a Popeye out there. Please get it. But it ended up with them not getting each other, and they were just like, fine. And the episode ended there. So we know almost cliffhangers, and the next episode we'll just see what happens. So guys, I hope you guys are learning from this, because I am learning from these relationships, and I'm just like, yo, there are times where I'm like, I'm on this person's side, and then next week I'm like, okay, I was a good judge of character actually, like Fatboy, you know. But I guess we just keep learning, and we see ourselves, our old selves, our past selves, or our present selves that need to heal from this, because they are aware of, oh, I look like this, I seem like this person. So this is the point of it all. I'm just reviewing, yes, for reviewing sake, because I'm watching a show from overseas and it's not close to home. You know, it's nice when you just spy over there and look at other people's business when it's not close to home, but at the same time, it actually opens up us, I guess, to just learn about relationships and dollar and be like, oh, my life ain't that bad, or be like, yo, they have it easy, they are fighting over nothing, because wow, what I'm going through in my home, you know. But thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye.